Chavez was a man of the people. You can sell anything, you can advertise anything with the face of Chavez, or Guevara, or Malcolm X, or Ho Chi Minh, but you cannot advertise your product with the face of Tony Blair. He's a murderer. You cannot use George Bush's face. He's a murderer.
Yes.
You cannot use Obama.
Yes.
He's a murderer. It's the Mr. Drawn, the assassin. He was drawn to assassinate people every single day.
Yes.
That's what Obama does.
That's right.
So that's really important for us to understand. So we're not just talking about democracy in general. Because, remember, Greece used to be a democracy. That's what it was in school. But they didn't tell us Greece was a slave society. You remember that? Greece, the ancient Greece, was a slave society where most of the people were slaves. Only a tiny handful of people were free. And they say Greece is an example of democracy. Hell no. It was a slave society. And in the slave society, there is no democracy. You can say what you want in the slave society, there is no democracy unless you are the slave master. And that's what we're looking right now in this world. We live in a world where the majority, the vast majority of the people live on less than $1 a day. Who wants to live on less than $1 a day in this world? Who wants to get a job and expect to be paid less than $1 a day in this world? Nobody. Nobody. But the vast majority of the people on this planet live like that. Everyone has got a mobile phone here. You heard about the coltan coming from the Congo? 6 million people have been killed just in the process of taking the coltan to make mobile phone, Xboxes, all this kind of stuff. And most of the people on the planet Earth don't even know where Congo is and where the people in Congo are living like. Most people don't even know because the media can't tell you the truth. You can't expect to hear the truth from the media. They tell lies 24 hours a day. The more you watch it, the more a liar you may become, because what you do, you just reflect what you heard. So if they're telling lies, are you going to reflect lies too? So it becomes important that everyone in this room has to take a stand about the future for humanity. That's what Hugo Chavez's message was. You go take a stand. You cannot side with a society, with a ruling class based on slavery. And you are the educated one. You have the decision to make. Are you going to be the intellectual of your race for change, or are you going to be the intellectual for status quo? Like Obama, smart, elegant. But he's an intellectual for slavery, for the oppressor. Is that what you want to be?
No.
Chavez was also educated. Guevara was a doctor. He refused to be an intellectual for the oppression.
Yes.
That's what the university training you for, to be an intellectual for oppression. To go and even justify your That's why in our organization, the African Socialist International, we recognize that the world is split in two between the oppressor nations and the oppressed nation. Hugo Chavez belonged to the oppressed nation of Venezuela and of Latin America in general. And he fought to break that link because all nations should be free.
Yes.
But it can't be freedom in general, because you need to understand that what we call oppressor nation, like Britain, like America, like Germany, like France, like Japan, and all these other countries, they are based on slavery. Slavery is the foundation of what you call democratic society in Britain today. Remember, when Columbus left Europe, there was no tradition of democracy in Europe. Do you remember that? There was no democracy in Europe. Europe was a place where they burned women almost every day.
Yes.
That's how Europe was. It was a place where if you were not Catholic, like in Spain or France, you might get killed. That's how Europe was. That's why Europeans went to America, and they say they found what in Americas? They found freedom. They call Americas the land of the free. But they are late, because the people of Americas, the indigenous, called the land of the free anyway. Because they were free. So that's how it was. So they found freedom not in Europe, but they found freedom in Americas. And people of Americas lost their freedom. The Africans also lost their freedom. in the process. Think about it. Think about it. A system created all the slavery. I'm not talking about watching movies, stuff like that. I'm talking about being on a cotton field every day, being whipped, being in a slave ship, being whipped, being in the slave castles of coast of Africa. I don't know if any of you have ever been there. And being indigenous in America, being killed, wiped out. You can walk in the US for days, you don't even see indigenous. You can walk for months, you don't even see any single indigenous of America. And we're supposed to say America is the land of the free?
No.
No, we're going to say what it is. It's a genocide government, it's a genocide system.
Yes.
It's a lynching state. That's what it is. If you don't believe me, just you can look around you. In the last 5 or 10 years, where there is war in the world, you will see US is involved, Britain is always following up, France is following up, always the same country causing wars everywhere they go. And then the same countries come on the television, tell us they are part of a democratic society. And we believe that too. And telling everybody else, you're not being democratic enough. And we are excited because I'm really proud to be alive in this period that I'm not reading about revolution in the 50s or 60s, but I can see the revolution as a necessity in our lifetime. That's what to be young should be. That's what be intellectual. You should demand a revolution in our lifetime.
Yes.
You should demand, like Hugo Chavez, a revolution in our lifetime.
Yes.
What does that mean? It means the end of relationship between the oppressed nation and the oppressed nation. That must go.
Yes. Europe,
America should oppress nobody, but you must say that. You must make it happen. You must join the rest of humanity.
Yes.
You must join the rest of Hugo Chavez, Venezuela, Bolivia, Africans, everybody is fighting for freedom. You should join them. You should join the movement and change the course of history, because the world cannot continue, cannot afford what we're going through right now.
Yes.
And that's what our organization we are in unconditional, who gives unconditional support to the revolutionary struggle in Venezuela, unconditional support to the struggle of Palestinians. Everybody who is fighting against parasitic capitalism, we are in unconditional support to them.
Yes.
Because we do understand that if we win in Venezuela, it's all oppressed people victory. We understand that. That's what we are. That we offer our unconditional support. Also, historically, during slavery, where we run out to, where we used to run to the indigenous population. They're the one who gave us asylum. They're the one who opened their community to us when we ran away from slavery. So there is a bond there, the historical, and we want to maintain that. And as I say, that we are ready, to organize in support of the revolution in Venezuela. We call everyone here to join us in this effort. As I said, the time is really this historical time, in the sense that every day you see threat of wars on the television. It's not something they're trying to hide it. You only have to watch TV a couple of times, you will know the U.S. policy or the U.S. international policy is what they call it gunboat diplomacy. The U.S. in Iraq is threats. The U.S. in Ukraine, threats of war. The U.S. in Syria, threat of war. Everywhere they go. So the gunboat diplomacy is really Obama's policy. Nothing else will do as far as they are concerned. I just want to stop here by saying, by making this point. A lot of people have learned to see Africa in the eyes of the media, television. So I would say most of the things you see about Africa is not really true. For many reasons. The first reason I think is really important is that imperialism, this system that's causing chaos everywhere, will die in Africa. It's not a religious statement. The reason I'm saying that because he was born there. He was built in America, but he was born in Africa. Because it's slavery that cemented America's Africa, Asia, the whole world, and created what we call markets, capitalist markets. Remember, the first commodities of capitalism was what? Africans. That was the first commodity of capitalism. And the second point is that you already have noticed, anyone who follows the news, you will have noticed that the US is going fast into Africa. They are building what they call Africa, a military strategy to control the vast wealth of Africa. You also notice China is growing so fast enough, it's growing as a power in Africa. You already notice that. Japan just made a statement. They are also developing an African plan. Turkey has an African plan. France has an African plan. Of course, Britain has an African plan. Everybody has an African plan. Because the final battle is going to decide the future for imperialism is going to take place in Africa. Guess what? We too, in our organization, have an African plan. We're going to have I don't want to exhaust my time. I just want to say thank you to all of you, for coming here, and I hope we're going to have a lively debate, peaceful debate, so that we can continue the work of Hugo Chavez. Because they kill Chavez, they killed him, but they can't kill the revolution.
No, they can't.